A pair of unbeatens for a lightweight title. We are making the rounds here on ESPN.com. Jim Basquil alongside Brian Campbell. Dan Rafael joins us in a moment. Lightweight titleist Terence Crawford makes his first title defense in his hometown of Omaha against Cuban Yuriorkis Gamboa. Both fighters head into this HBO bout at 23-0 with 16 knockouts. The 32-year-old Crawford won the title by beating Ricky Burns in Scotland back in March. Brian, what did that win show you?
Jim, it showed me that this guy's for real. He's a world-class level boxer because, look, controls space so very well with both his length and his footwork. Can really get up in on you with your slickness, throw combinations on the inside, and then get out of trouble. And specifically in that Ricky Burns fight, he showed that he can go into the backyard of an opponent, went into Scotland, no problem, came out of there with the title. Jim, I think this guy is for real, and this is the perfect test right now against Gamboa, so we can really see exactly what we have here.
Yeah, impressive considering the venue. ESPN boxing insider Dan Rafael, how will Crawford deal with Gamboa's experience and speed?
Well, a couple things. Number one, as experienced as Gamboa is, he's been extremely inactive. And Terence Crawford has gotten very good experience over the last few fights. And like Brian talked about, the fact that he was able to go to Scotland to keep himself emotionally in check, that you cannot buy that kind of experience. So I think the experience level is a wash, although Gamboa certainly as a gold medalist and a monster amateur has that background. But Crawford was a good amateur also, maybe not at that Olympic level. But so I think the experience level is basically a wash. Speed-wise, you know, I haven't seen the explosive speed from Gamboa pretty much since he was a featherweight. Now he's going to be a lightweight. So I think the speed won't be as big of a factor. A big factor will be, though, and I was shocked by this when I saw the two guys standing next to each other on the video of their press conference when they announced this fight. Terence Crawford towers over Gamboa. He's going to have the home crowd behind him. Hasn't been a world title fight in Omaha in 42 years, so you know he's going to be amped up for that. The crowd's going to be into it. He's got the size advantage. And I also think that the experience level is somewhat even, and I don't think Gamboa is that much faster. To me, everything lines up great for Terence Crawford in this fight.
You got the College World Series there. You got this fight coming. Everything's going on in Omaha.
Omaha's on fire.
Brian, how will Gamboa's recent inactivity impact the results in the ring?
Jim, I think there's a lot of question marks with Gamboa here. You know, the inactivity is one of it. The other thing is what Dan mentioned. He's 2 divisions higher than where he was really at his prime in 2011 as an electrifying featherweight. At that point, a top 10 pound-for-pound fighter. But since then, we've seen a much different Gamboa, only really fighting once a year, had some promotional issues with the change from Top Rank, now under 50 Cent, been just out of the ring for a while, and when we have seen him, we've seen a much more defensive fighter, not the same level of explosiveness, not the same guy. He's also a lot older than a lot of people realize, Jim. This is really going to be his chance, though, to turn back the clock or show us that he's, despite never having a loss yet, he's on the decline.
Hey, Dan, what's at stake for the winner?
Well, of course, the winner is gonna have the belt. Number one. Number two, that person is going to establish himself even more so as the type of guy that you're going to see more regularly on the HBO main event level fights. Unfortunately, for whoever is the winner in this fight, the lightweight division is really kind of bereft of the top opponents. There's not a lot of name recognition there, not a lot of big money fights to be made. An Omar Figueroa unification fight is probably unlikely for the simple fact that Figueroa would probably have no chance against the winner based on the speed level, combined with the fact that he's with Al Heyman and he also has a mandatory that's due, so I don't see that happening. So what the winner has to hope for is that there's going to be some talented person from the 130-pound division to move up in weight. It could be Mikey Garcia if he can work out his promotional issues with Top Rank. That would certainly be an attractive fight. Or maybe that person, the winner, makes a defense or two and then goes into the more fruitful 140-pound weight class. But the main thing is, what's at stake is a good victory against a very quality opponent and owner of one of the world titles.
It's Crawford, it's Gamboa, it's a lightweight title, and it's on HBO. We are making the rounds right here on the boxing page of ESPN.com. For Dan Rafael and Brian Campbell, I'm Jim Basquil.